I'm going to make an X-Wing Starfighter for my Lammily doll. You'll need cardboard, craft foam, newspaper ads, a 2-liter soda bottle, 4 toilet tissue rolls, duct tape, coffee filters, paint and markers, Q-tips, beads, buttons and jewels, glue, and of course, your Lammily doll. On cardboard, draw a rectangle that is 30 by 14 inches. Mark lines at the middle points and cut out the rectangle. Tightly roll the cardboard around a broom handle. Cut along the long midline so that you have 2 identical pieces. On the short edge of each piece, mark at 3 inches and 4 inches. Connect these marks and the edges of your midpoint lines. Cut along these lines. Now you have a top and a bottom. On your top piece, measure 9 inches from the flat edge. Draw a line across, cut on this line and your midpoint line to make a front and a back. On your bottom piece, bend at your midpoint line. Use hot glue to join the edges down one side of your ship and up the other, making sure to keep a rounded shape. Get your bottle and slide it into your ship. Trace the opening onto the bottle using permanent marker. Trace a line 1/2 inch around the opening on the cardboard. Trace the back of the ship on cardboard. Cut it out. Glue it to gray foam and cut it out. Remove your bottle and cut along the 1/2 inch line. Paint the inside of your ship gray. Once the paint is dry, glue the back piece onto your ship. Cut a piece of gray foam, glue it to the top of the back of your ship. Wrap a piece of white foam around your ship. Mark it where it overlaps the gray foam and where it hits your midline on both sides. Use those marks to sketch lines and cut. Glue in place. Trim around your cockpit. Snip the corners. Fold over and glue. Wrap another piece of white foam around the front end of your ship. Mark in the middle where the foam meets. Cut it out. Start by gluing the top and work your way to the bottom. Trim any excess foam from the seam and where the corners overlap. Cut rounded strips of white foam and glue them over your seams. Fold over and glue any extra foam around the cockpit. Use cardboard to trace a dashboard. Cut it out. Cut a small notch from the bottom. Put it in place and make sure Lammily's feet and legs fit under it. Paint the dashboard gray. Cut a picture from newspaper ads. Glue it to gray foam and cut it out. To create a monitor, glue a button and then a jewel on each side to create lights. Trim a Q-tip to form 2 short sticks. Glue a bead to each one. Glue these to a small foam rectangle and then to the dashboard to create gear sticks. Cut small foam squares and glue them to the dashboard to create a grid of buttons. Draw a rectangle that is 2 inches by 7 inches. Mark a line at 3 inches. Cut the rectangle and bend at the line to make a seat. Place the seat in the cockpit. Have Lammily sit in her seat so that her head completely clears the top of the cockpit. Pull Lammily and the seat out together so you know at what angle the seat needs to recline. Use that angle to draw triangles on cardboard. Cut them out and glue them in place on the back of your seat. Cover the seat in duct tape and glue pieces of gray foam to create seat pads. Glue the seat into the cockpit. Cut the very bottom off your soda bottle. Push out any dents. Using only a few drops of hot glue, attach the cardboard frame to the lines you traced on your bottle. Cut along the outer edge of your cardboard. Use duct tape to cover your cardboard on all 4 sides, trimming where needed. Using white foam, cut 4 ovals and 1 oblong shape. Glue the oblong shape to the back and the ovals at all 4 corners. Cut a thin strip of gray foam, bend it, and glue it to the front of your cabin door to make a handle. Glue a bead to the oblong piece of white foam. Put your cabin door in place and mark on each side of that bead. Remove the door and glue a bead to each of the marks you just made. Trim a Q-tip so it is just as long as those 2 beads. Put your door back in place, slide your Q-tip through, and glue on both ends so that your door has a working hinge. Use gray foam and a hole punch to create some extra details. Glue your dashboard into place. For your wings, start with a 6 by 16 inch rectangle. Mark a line at the middle. Mark the top at 2.5 and 3.5 inches. Connect those points to your midline. Repeat on the other side. And cut out your diamond shapes. Glue to white poster board. Cut it out, leaving a 1/4 inch of poster board around the edges. Glue the other side to poster board and cut, again leaving that 1/4 inch. Fold it in half, run hot glue down the sides of your wings, wait until the glue cools slightly and pinch the edges closed. Glue your wings to your ship. To make the rockets, paint the inside and outside of 4 toilet tissue rolls white. Cut 4 pairs of strips out of white foam, glue them around your rolls to add length and dimension. Glue 2 rockets to the top of your ship and to the bottom. To make the shooters, glue a yellow bead to the end of a glue stick. Clip the ends off of a Q-tip and glue it into the yellow bead. Glue another bead to the end of the Q-tip and paint it white. Make 4 of these and glue one to the end of each wing. On 2 pieces of white foam, sketch a U shape, cut them out, glue them together, and glue them onto the nose of your ship. Cut square pieces of white foam to add details. Cut strips of yellow, red, and white foam to add details to the top and sides of your ship. Glue gray foam in various layers and in various shapes to add details to the back and top of your ship. Cut pieces of red foam to add details to your wings. Use water-based markers to scribble on folded coffee filters. Dip one end in water, unfold and lay on paper towels to dry. Once dry, refold your coffee filters and place them in your rockets to look like jets. And now, you're ready to fly.